Welcome back to the Valley of the Old Farm for episode 15 with me, MrSealyp. So after the delights of stacking all my hay bales under here in the last episode, I am going to wait until my wheat field's ready, and I think I've got a barley field as well. When I've got the straw swaths from there, I'm going to make the straw bales. They're going to come up in here enough so I've got my 100 for the council. They're going to come this side so my hay and my straw are kept separate. The grass bale that I put here, I was warned that that would start to degrade, which I'd forgotten about. I know the grass degrades much quicker, so I have fed that into the sheep trough just over there. If we just have a quick look at the animals, you'll see the hay and grass, considering I've only got 24 sheep, says 7,580. It was down a little bit. It allowed me to put the bale in, which has taken it way over what it needs, so the hay and grass won't need topping up for quite a while. Downside to that is the feed area will get quite dirty. I'll have to pick it up with the skid steer and leave it in the bucket out of the way, and then once they've used some of it, then put it in. Even if I have to put it one side, or I'll think of something. But the good thing is we are at nearly 3 o'clock. Day 2 midsummer. I have put up the weather forecast because I don't normally have that up. On PlayStation 4 it is L1, R1 and circle at the same time puts up that 7-day weather forecast. Only downside, I'm a little bit miffed, I'll be honest. Looking at that, and this apparently is very, very reliable. The day I'm on, or the next day will be Saturday, sunny, that's summer 3. Then I've got 3 autumn days, 2 sunny ones, 1 it's a bit cloudy. Then my winter 3 days all show rain. No snow. The whole point of putting on seasons mod is to get snow in the winter. If it pours with rain all winter, I'm going to be really fed up. I thought it was supposed to rain in the autumn and snow in the winter. That's going to be... Anyway, we'll worry about the weather forecast later. What I have found though is that my bunker silo is 100% fermented, which is great. I have bought the universal lightweight bucket. This is a 12,000 litre bucket. I believe it's by Toxic On, so I will put it up on here now. I think it is. Right, so what I've done, I've bought that bucket and brought it over. I have brought over our agroliner trailer. I have also set up, this is becoming incredibly useful, the conveyor belt, the Lizard slow conveyor, because it's got the trough in the end as well. You don't need the pickup conveyor. You can use the pickup conveyor, it doesn't matter, any combination of conveyor belts, but I've already got this, so I'm going to use it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shovel the silage out of there, up the conveyor belt into the trailer will then take it over to the silo and I will put it into storage, ready for total mixed ration and whatever else I want to do with it. It could stay here covered, but it's summer too. I need a job to do, and this is it. So bunker silo has been opened. What I will first do then is move this under the conveyor belt. That should do. Okay, jump out of there. Right, and then jump in this, turn it on. Conveyor belt's working. This should work. In theory, we'll soon see, won't we, if it doesn't. If it doesn't. I was going to lease a wheel loader with a bucket. I thought, well, I've already got the telehandler. I might as well just use this bucket. Now this bucket, interestingly, and I'll show you this as well, I'm nothing if not all about learning new things. If I go to wheel loaders, sorry, telehandlers, which is what I've got, and scroll across, I've probably mentioned this before in another Let's Play, but if you might be new to my channel, you might not have seen any others. If I scroll across, that universal lightweight bucket doesn't appear. But if I go to wheel loaders and scroll across, it's here in the wheel loaders section. Now it fits on the wheel loaders and looks obviously a little bit better on the wheel loaders, only because they're much bigger vehicles, but it does fit onto the telehandler as well, so that's why I've got it. I have got the rear weight on the back as well, so the weight of that silage on the front shouldn't affect it. 11,492. I've used this a lot on various different Let's Plays. On Lawfolds, when I used to do my selling my silage, I would use a wheel loader with this bucket. I could never get it to fill to 12,000 litres. Always goes to 11,492. Don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So, fingers crossed. Well, not forwards, backwards is where I want to go. Let's tip this and see how we fare. Oh, it is working, right. So, silage in there. Up the conveyor. Into the trailer. Nice. I'm just going to jump up on the bonnet, onto the roof. Awesome. That's working very nicely. Now, if I tip that any more than that, it will still only, the conveyor belt will only take a certain amount at a time, so it doesn't matter. Right. What I do like is with that weight over that front axle, the tyre deformation on that front tyre, and you get that bit of bounce as well. Nice. I'm easily pleased. It's nice little touches like that, makes the difference. Now I have, just as an aside, I have pre-ordered Pure Farming 2018. I'm incredibly curious to see what that's going to be like. It's going to be interesting being able to do various different crops. I know these maps on Farming Simulator 17 are in different places around the world, depending on the modder and where they want them set, but I'm just fascinated to see what it's going to be like, how much the realism is going to be on there, and what the game kind of feels like. If it is if it is a good run for its money, if it does light a fire under Farming Simulator, hopefully that will kind of push the boundaries of what FS19 could and will possibly be. So we shall see. But anyway, it has been done. I'm not turning to the dark side. I'm not converting. I'm not moving away. It just is what it is. I did get a copy of Real Farms. Mine's gone blank now. And sorry to the creators of that, I was not as impressed, I have to say. Some aspects of it were really, really good. Some just, I don't know, seemed a little bit too arcadey for my liking, but that was just my own personal view. Some people may absolutely love it, and that's what personal choice and preference is all about. So let's fill this up again and watch those front tyres. Anyway. Right, this is going to take a little while, as you can imagine. So, I'm going to do a couple of loads like this, and then once that trailer's full, we'll take it round and unload it. I'll spend a bit of time doing that. I'm going to find out what jobs I'm going to do next before summer 3. Now, if I look into the menu here, if we look across to summer 3 at the top, wheat, barley, canola, all of those say they can be harvested from summer 3. So fingers crossed that some of my harvests are ready. I can't remember when I put them in the ground though. They might not quite be ready yet. If I'm lucky, I might have some ready in summer 3, in which case I can start my harvesting early, because as you saw from the weather forecast, it's going to rain in late autumn and into winter. So I want to try and get on top of the harvesting if I can, because once it starts raining and I can't harvest, then we have a bit of a problem. So I'll get as much done as I can as soon as I can. That trailer does seem to be filling up rather well. That one was the 45,000 litre, I think it was. So that will take 4 of those buckets and a bit more. Would have helped if I jumped in the telehandler and not the conveyor belt. Never mind. Now I couldn't hook up to the conveyor belt with the Challenger, but I could with the New Holland, so that's why they're both here. I'm not just bringing all of my tractors together for some kind of meeting, you know. Now bearing in mind I've got, what did I say, 400,000 litres, 426,000 litres in here. So this is going to take a while, quite a few loads. It's going to be like 10 loads with the trailer, something like that, maybe 9 and a bit. So that's tipping. Let's turn the engine off, try and put all there. I do like the fact you can walk under the conveyors as well, with these ones. Anyway, right, so let's jump into the Challenger, see what we got. 36, 37 and continuing. Nice. Now, like I said, there are quicker ways of doing this. I could have just set up a pickup conveyor belt like I've done a lot of times before on various different Let's Plays. Get the... I'll show you anyway. Like I say, you might be new to this, you might not know. You might be new to the game, new to my channel. This one, the Lizard S710, is a pickup conveyor belt. And you can do that combined with this one here, which is the one that lifts the Quantum. This Lizard slow conveyor is a fairly new addition, and when you look at the prices of these, it's half the price. Now it does mean that you've got to put it in with a bucket, but I haven't really used it much before, and I've used these ones a lot on various different Let's Plays. That's why I thought I would go slightly different. Now I think you can do the same with this one, the RH2460. You can do that in conjunction with some of the other conveyor belts. I'm sure you can. So you can tip into that, and then that will feed into other ones, as far as I'm aware. But I just thought I would try it this way. Something a bit different to do. I mind the jump cut there, only because that is showing as still having some in. The belt is still running and that's still tipping, but when I get in here it's showing 45,000 litres, which means the trailer's full. I have turned off the conveyor belt. That is now sitting at off, but it's still running. Now I'm hoping when I pull away it's not going to start pouring stuff on the floor. The only thing we can do is try, can't we? Phew, it stopped. Okay, right, that's good. Good news. God, this Challenger doesn't struggle up hills pulling anything. Well, I say pulling anything, I'm pretty sure it will struggle with something, but not with this. Now I could have absolutely put all of the silage in this bunker up here, would have been a lot closer, and probably with a system of conveyor belts could have just set it up to pour directly from the bunker silo into the sell point, the storage. But where's the fun in that? So let's have a look. We scroll across. Have I got silage? There we go. 44,999 litres in storage, which means someone has stolen a litre. That happens quite a lot. I have got hay, I have got grass, some of my straw when I do my fields, when I get round to do my harvesting. Some of the swaths will be picked up with a loading wagon and put in here. So what I will do is bales first to fulfil my kind of obligation to the council. Once I've got my 100, I hope I get my 100, the rest won't be baled, the rest will then be picked up loose and put into the silo. That's what I'm aiming to do. Plus I made a big decision, having used the auto load trailer in the last, not the last episode, the one before, when I do the wheat, there we go. When I do the wheat, I'm going to use the Quadro Pack V, and I'm going to use the Kotec forks, and I'm going to manually load the trailer. Much as, you know, the auto load is fantastic, I just felt like I cheated. I know it sounds ridiculous. It just felt like I cheated, and I want to do at least some properly on this Let's Play. So that will be kind of something else I'm going to intend on doing. Cool. So, as you've heard me say many times before, I'm not going to say I'll see you in a minute. I will see you in a little while, because this is going to take a little while. So here's something interesting I found out completely by accident. I was doing it bucket by bucket and going backwards and forwards. I did 4 loads. I think I was on the 5th load, and I thought I need to speed this up a little bit, otherwise I'm going to be here all day. So I leased the Lizard pickup conveyor belt, the Lizard S710. Brought it down, put it into the bunker to pick up and put into here. As I backed this up, the Lizard slow conveyor, it started to go up and into, well, it started to go up the conveyor belt, and I thought, hang on a minute, I haven't even got it anywhere near the pickup, the other one, the S710. So I thought, right, take the S710 out of the way, put this in and see. Now this is working as a pickup. Now whilst, I suppose you've got an open bit there, it's picking up off the floor, I guess, but anyway, yeah, it's working like this. So I didn't need to have it out here. I didn't need to be loading it with a bucket. I mean, I can do it. It's obviously more realistic, etc., etc. But just with that now, you don't need 2 separate conveyor belts. That is your pickup and your lift. Whereas before, you would need to use the Lizard S710 and the Quantum to get both of those combined, because obviously the S710 only goes up about 2-3 feet off the floor. This one does both. This is going to speed up this process considerably, and that is brilliant. That's more time for me to go fishing or sunbathe, sit in the garden, read the paper, or do some more jobs. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed, top right hand corner, I was on 373,000 at the end of the last episode. I've got something that's coming up as part of the narrative. and I hadn't bought that piece of machinery yet, so I've made a mistake. Go with it. You know exactly what I mean when I say that. Oh, full trailer. That was a massive error on my part. So the next time it cuts to a section of video that I record, that will be back down to 373,000 where it should be. That was a massive error on my part. But that being said, this is all going rather swimmingly, I have to say. I'm really happy with this. Let's have a look. We should be knocking on 200,000 litres in the silo, I believe. Always go the wrong way. Don't know why. Yeah, 218, 220,000. Okay, that's going well. I'm happy with that. I was just thinking I'm going to need more hay, but I have got all those hay bales, which will make a big difference. So, I just thought I haven't got to the end yet, I've still got more to do, but I thought I'd kind of jump back in at this point to show you, so it's a little bit more automated. It means I don't have to go backwards and forwards to the bucket as often. That's always nice. Now while I'm doing this, I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out. And this isn't, I normally do shout outs to people that have helped me out with certain things. People will give me advice all the time. Now the problem I have, and it's a minor one, is that sometimes people will offer advice up, something that I already know, something that I've already done before in previous Let's Plays. I think people just assume because they've given me some part of advice for something, they'll get a shout out. Generally speaking, it's if it's something I didn't know, something I've learned, something that's been particularly helpful. But these two are going out to Nicole and Robert. Two Aussies who are subscribers to my channel, who messaged me on Facebook recently and incredibly friendly, very, very nice. So I just thought, you know what guys, I'm going to give a shout out. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for following. Thank you for enjoying the content. I'm glad you do. So there you go. Just thought I'd do something nice. It's a small thing, but you know, if it makes someone smile, then it's worthwhile. Well, now I'm a little bit redundant. I can move the telehandler, put that away. It's not a bad thing, really. So as you can see, we are down to the last 27,000 litres, 26,000 litres in the bunker silo. The trailer's almost full again. I made a bit of a mistake. I took the bucket and put it back with the telehandler, forgetting that I'd leased it, not bought it. So I took it back to the store. Then realised that when I got to the last little bit here, I might need something with a bucket to get the last few dregs out of the bunker silo. So I leased it again. But when I leased it the second time, I got a slightly different orange, which actually matches the Merlot better than the original orange I had. That's why you might be looking thinking, hang on a minute, that doesn't look the same as the one you had before. It isn't, it's a different orange. It's a tiny thing, but it's one of those weird situations. So we are so nearly there. The other good thing with doing it here is that I can actually swing around in the yard here rather than going through the archway and all over the place. It just makes life so much easier. The only reason I've got the controls panel open in the corner is so I can keep an eye on the fill level of the bunker. At the end of the day I'm going to clear it all anyway. I was just curious to see how much I had left, and I'm hoping that the slow conveyor will get those last bits out, but it might not, so I'll just pull that out of the way and then get the last little bits out of the bucket, and that'll be that done. 400,000 plus litres of silage in storage. All part and parcel of what's happening on the farm. I'm normally one for trying to get a few jobs done in an episode, and that's kind of what I've always aimed at. And then I get people telling me that I should really stick to one thing in an episode, and I totally understand that as well. I just kind of gauge it on what I would want to watch myself. And the other thing, I don't know if I mentioned it in the last episode or even earlier in this one, I don't think I did. I'm recording this in 2 separate bursts, in that I always shied away from doing time lapses on anything more than ×2, because I record on Share Factory. A few people ask me, on PlayStation 4 on Share Factory is how I record, and when you do the editing you have the option of doing if you do a speed up time lapse, ×2, ×4, ×8, and when you actually do it in the editing software it's really jerky, and it always seemed okay on ×2, and if you put it on ×4 or ×8 it looked horrendous. What I hadn't read carefully was when you click on the time-lapse bit to speed time up, it does say that you will only get the smooth kind of footage once it's been rendered and it's in its final video quality. So that's why I did the episode the other day of ×4 when I was doing the baling on episode 14. So I think what I will do every now and again, if I'm doing a harvest on a field, I might do a time-lapse speed up a bit faster. Like I say, I've always kind of shied away from it. I've done ×2, and then what I do generally speaking is do a bit of ×2, then jump cut to another bit of ×2, and you know, so maybe I can look at doing that slightly different way. We'll see. Now is this going to stop, or will it do those bits over there? Fingers crossed. We're on 3,000 litres left. 2,000 litres. Come on, take it all, take it all, take it all. Come on, you can do it. 1,000 litres, come on. Right, if I pull that forward, I might get away with that. Come on. Yes! Fill level, chaff. 0. We are done. Right. Let's pull that forward. Get rid of that. Those can be... I need to make sure I've got the right controls. Always get it wrong. And then, nope. Hold that up like that. Nope. Back that way. And down. Right, that's finished. Turn off the belt. Go and put this in storage. That's the last bit. Fantastic. Okay. Right, now let me think. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. What time is it? 4:45. If we check in here, we've got 425,957 litres of silage, which means I've lost some along the way because I had 426,000 something or other, so some has vanished. I don't know where that's gone. Somewhere in transit. A little bit dropped here and there, I suppose, adds up. Now what I have decided to do, having used the conveyors and fiddling around over there, I've bought one of the small lizards, the lizard pickup. Now I haven't used these for quite a while actually on Let's Plays. I've used the Lady Juno, I've used various different things. These work brilliantly for feed areas. If you know that already, fantastic. If you're new to the game, there are all different ways of cleaning these feed areas. You can use buckets, you can use there's a Lady Juno that goes up and down automated and cleans your feed area. These work brilliantly because these are an automatic pickup and they normally have an area around them that they'll pick up from. But when you jump in them, because you can drive them. If I start the engine, I thought I had. Why is that not starting? There we go. R1 and square, not L1 and square, that's why. So you can drive it. But you have to lift up that front belt first. That's the front belt, the attacher. Lift that first and then you can steer it, you can drive it, etc. Now, what will happen is, if I leave it back out the way here, as grass appears in the feed area, this will automatically collect it. Now, the actual reach of it might not go all the way to the end of the trough, so you might get some still here. So every now and again, you jump in, drive it forward, it will collect everything that's there, and if you turn it slightly, it will unload from this end into the trough. So it's like an automated system, just makes life a lot easier. So that's that done. Now, what I'm thinking next is... Oh yes, that was the other thing. Right, bear with me 1 second. Now, because of my sheer terror, my worry that I'm not going to have enough straw to do bales and put in storage, etc. There's a field here. This one is field 57. I have done some work for George Watson, obviously elsewhere, because the little green bar shows that I'm doing all right with him job-wise. This field is 58,000. So what I'm going to do, I know you're not getting much. I'm not getting much for trees at the moment. What I might do just to get some of that money back is do a little bit of logging just to recoup some of that money, because I'm really conscious of the fact my balance is dropping sharply, and I do need to lease a harvester because I can't afford to buy one now, and then I will get clobbered for the hourly rates. So what I'm going to do is buy this field. This has got wheat in it, so I now own field 57, which means even if the wheat yield isn't great because this won't have been ploughed and it won't have many fertilising states, the straw swaths will be there, and that will give me again more options. At the end of the day, if I've got way too much, then I can just sell the straw. That's not a problem, or just put as much in storage as I can. That's not going to hurt either. So I now own field 57. I'm trying to think what else I need to do now, because we're summer 2. There's not really many other jobs I can do yet. Until any of the fields move into their next growth stage, I can't fertiliser spread any of them. All the fields that I've got are in the right growth stage. I've done the silage. To be honest with you, I think the afternoon is my own now. I can go and relax, and then tomorrow, summer 3, fingers crossed, there'll be some harvesting to start on. Some fields can be sprayed, grass fields, and we'll kind of see where we stand. Let's get out the what's this saying for the Wopster? Wheat 50% growth. Okay, that's not bad, not bad at all. We should be okay. Right, let's get back to the farm, and you may now see me in the morning. I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably. I'll have a rest, take it easy. So, as you just saw, we skipped the night, although time seems to be Running at a ridiculous speed. Hang on 1 second. It was 5:22. It's now 6 o'clock. Never mind. Now, I did skip the night, which you can do on seasons. It has to be past a certain time at night. Lots of people have commented to say it won't work on PlayStation. It does work on PlayStation. I play on PlayStation. That's what I'm on now. When it gets to a certain time at night, it will allow you to. You do L1 and R1 at the same time, then triangle all at the same time. It will give you the option. You can skip the night to dawn or to a certain time in the morning. I generally do it to dawn. So we're now on day 3, late summer. Temperature is, it says 7 degrees, but I'm assuming it's going to get warmer than that. Ground temperature is 12 degrees. For summer, that's not particularly warm. This I haven't touched overnight. You've got a little bit of grass there. So if I jump in that now, turn the engine on, drive forward, and if I swing that round ever so slightly, it should... Oh no, it won't, will it? Just suddenly remembered. Because my trough, I'm pretty sure... Let's go across to animals. Because I put that bale in, yeah. Because I put the extra bale in, it went way above what the limit allowed. I'm still at 6,700 litres, which still hasn't even come anywhere near to being needed. Okay, that's fine. That can just sit there and collect anything that comes up. Didn't think of that. Now, oh, hang on a second. Here's the thing. Could it be? Can it be true? Let's get out the Wopster. Oh, interestingly though, it says 83%. Growth, so maybe that's not ready yet. Let's check. Growth. No, they're not ready yet. Oh, that's just teasing now, isn't it? Oh, I thought they'd be ready. Maybe over the course of the day. But it does mean, though, that fields 36 and 37 up the top there can probably have another fertiliser state. Field 91 and 92, my grass fields probably can, as can 57. Because we've gone into the next day, so hopefully it will allow me to do that. Oh man, I was so convinced it'd be ready today. Because looking at that, I mean, I suppose technically we're right on the edge of it. We're not actually into harvest yet. Oh, that's so frustrating. Never mind. Oh, let the excitement of that gradually wane. Well, that's going to be it, I think, for today's episode, or for this episode anyway. We've got all the silaging done. We've skipped through the night to the following day. We're now on day 3, late summer. I have got some fertilising and jobs to do. I was hoping there'd be some harvesting to do, but that was not the case. I lost a little bit of money overnight because I'm still not productive with cows or anything like that. So my vehicle running costs, bearing in mind, because this is split now, so each day, because I'm on 3 days, I know I've said this before, each day equates to a month. 12 months in a year. Split that down into days. Yeah, it's going to be, each of my seasons is 3 days. So 3 months for a season. You're going to be looking at 1 month per day. So I got clobbered, but that's not a problem. I did do a bit of wood, a little bit of forestry before off screen to bring the money back up to allow for me buying field 57, but the tree prices were 2,800 ish. That'll be even lower now. Oh, that's actually what I was going to show you. If we go into that menu and we scroll across one to the economy page, I've been having a bit of a fiddle through and having a look. If we look at wood chip prices, this is exactly what I was talking about. I started obviously on Spring 1. If you look at Spring 1 on the left hand side, it says 261 for wood chips. Now I was getting roughly 9,500 per tree then in Spring 1. You go across to the other side and look at Winter 2. Look at the difference in price. So when Winter 2 hits and I start doing wood chipping, that's where I'm going to make my money on wood chips. The slightly darker bar, that's where I am now. I'm on summer 3. So I've got my harvest season to get through. Wood chips will gradually start building up again. But yeah, that's all looking pretty good, I have to say. Now, before I finish, one last thing. I would just like to give another shout out. I know, 3 in one episode is crazy. To one Capadonna. Thank you very, very much. You know why. I have messaged you, but one Capadonna, I appreciate it. I really, really do. Anyway, on that note, everyone's now going, why? What's one Capadonna done? Just been a very genuine person. That's all you need to know. Anyway, this is the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.